met on a Greek island, and how he informs what I do today. And these are Elizabeth's kids, who I may not meet. I hope they don't come next year. That'd be a bit of a problem. All right, I'd like to meet them. I just don't want to meet them quite so early. Now, if you think about the way we invest time in 2010-11, there it is. So what an organization can think about doing, and what people can think about doing, is going like this. Right? That's what an organization can do. How can it do that? An organization can say, you know what, I can be family friendly, but it's not just about not swearing in the presence of 7-year-olds. It's actually about being family friendly. It's actually about understanding how the family connects the past with the future and making it possible to do that. It's instead of saying, let's teach those kids skills because their parents aren't going to do it. In other words, betting against the parents. Why don't we go out another way and say, let's teach those skills through their parents because their parents would benefit from it too. Isn't that wild? Okay? And what you can expect from this is rich culture. If you go back to mentoring every time, what you get is things like, you get, my grandma was my hero, or my camp counselor inspired me. And you also get things like, those were the best times in my life and those were the best people in my life. And now you're back to creating nostalgia, and now you're back to actually sticking with this beyond 25. All right? We'll do questions after this. Anybody have any idea? Okay, I'll give you the name, and if you can tell me why it's important, then you win the prize. The boat is called Sprite. It is a hair soft. Anybody have any idea why it's important?
So his family could sail together.
It's a very good guess, but it isn't quite right. All right, so here's the history of Sprite. So Nat Harrishoff is 11 years old, growing up in Bristol on the other side of the Sound. And his brother is 14, 15 years old. And his dad is sick and tired of them running around inside all summer long. So he kicks the kids out. He says, you guys go outside and find something to do. And supplies them with some tools and some wood. And Nat looks out on Long Island Sound and he sees a bunch of crabbers and these cat boats, and he says, I think I can design a faster one of those. This kid's 11 years old. You can imagine? So first he carves it out of wood, and then he uses his right brain thinking to put the other side together. And they build this boat. It takes them 2 summers to do it, actually, outside. By hand, they built the whole thing. And that year, the year they finished, the Eastern, which was the first steamer to come across the Atlantic, came across from London to New York and arrived in New York. And they went from Bristol to New York City, double-handing this in 26 hours, which was a record for any boat its size. And this boat then became a racing boat. And it teed up Nat Harrishoff's business, which then built J-boats for the America's Cup. You know, was the most famous of all boat builders ever.
He was a terrible father.
Yes, yeah.
He had a bunch of neurotic children. I mean, he was a horrible.
Yeah, he was a jerk.
Terrible. He was a jerk.
But he sent them outside. I have to say that.
Out in boats.
Right.
Yeah, but JB went blind.
Yes.
At this time.
Yeah, he had an accident.
Yeah, he had this accident.
Yes, exactly. The older brother went blind, actually, but helped run the company.
Ran the family.
Yeah.
That's everyone.
So the point here is, first purpose-built Western recreational sailboat in the 1830s, and built by brothers 11 and 15, led outside by their dad. Key point there, led outside by their dad. So now let's talk about these two guys. Yes? Oh, it's a good guess.
No.
But no. So if I give you their names, you tell me if you know who they are, and you still win the prize. This one's tough.
Oh, the sports.
So why are they important?
Father, son won a star gold medal.
And what's important about that?
Probably the only ones.
You just won the prize. You're the first guy ever to answer that question.
It's in your book.
Well, you get another copy. Give it to somebody.
52 or
48. 48. So these guys went to the Olympics, and they won the gold medal as a family team. It's the first family team to win any gold medal in any sport. It's never been done since. Okay? So things have been a family sport.
Paul Elstrom
He did, but not a gold.
Not a gold.
And there was a family team that, or there was there were golds
McKees.
won by the McKees,
Yeah,
but not sailing together.
and the Florida boys
Yes.
in '76.
Yeah.
So
All right. First family Olympic gold team in any sport, still true. And so there you go. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts you want to share or feedback? Yeah.
I used to date a guy who had a boy, a 7-year-old boy, 7 to 11 when we were together, and he used to hate sailing because, you know, we didn't do racing with him, but it was, you know, cruising to Northport, and the winds were light in August, as they are in the North, you know, Long Island Sound and stuff. And I have a friend who has girls 9 and 10 last summer, and I did a delivery with the older daughter. And the girls, I mean, this girl, the 10-year-old at the time, I mean, my boyfriend's son was not interested at all in sailing. He just wanted the next video game or the playground. And have you had any experience with the gender differences?
Yeah.
Because I think girls are much more interested, young girls.
So I'm going to agree with you on a couple of points, and then I'm going to go to gender in a couple of different ways, if you don't mind. So the first thing is sailing, the place it's growing is among women. So that's fabulous, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring forward that Milwaukee Bay experience, because it's the best thing on the bay. I mean, I can't miss it, and I'm not allowed to go. It's just that good. So that's great, and it is true that if you look at like our club's junior program, it's 70% girls now, 30% boys, and the boys are getting pulled out of this into either things of their choice that are sports oriented or gaming oriented. That's classically what happens.
Yeah, physical or
Yep, exactly. Now, what's interesting though is the more girls that come to it, the more attractive it becomes for boys. It's very clearly an answer.
Well, later.
Yeah.
Not when they're 7.
I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying that that's the trend that you generally see. Now, I just want to go at gender on two things, and then I want to talk age. First of all, I believe that the mom on a sailboat is by far the most important person on the boat. It doesn't matter if the dad knows how to sail at all. It kind of doesn't matter if the kids are into it to start with. But if you think about moms on 2 dimensions in this case, if you call me and ask me to go sailing, I'm gonna say, hey, Ange, you mind if I skip out on you guys on Saturday afternoon? Because Joe over here wants me to go sailing with him in this program. I'm gonna be the classic guy, stupid thing. If you call my wife and ask her if she wants to go sailing, she's gonna go